Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you're watching this transmission. It is I, Mike Martins, and man, it's been a rough week, rough weekend here so far. So my wife is in the hospital right now with some. We don't know how complicated the complications are, so that we all maybe say a prayer for her tonight. Keep her in your thoughts tonight. Anyways, we're gonna cover. We're gonna have Steve the plumber on the show tonight. We're gonna be covering what's happening right now in OSHAWA, Ontario, where there's gonna be a lot of jobs being terminated, or jobs are gonna be ending, and it's not a good thing, people. And we need to think of the families and everybody. But before I kick that off tonight, guys, I really need to get this out there. Urgent national frozen veg recall, okay, after 9 dead. The reason why I'm bringing this up right now is because people are, it's called Penguin Frozen Sweet Corn, all pack sizes, all batch codes, all best before 2020. So a lot of people are sitting on this. All batch sizes, all codes, all best before 2020. All batch sizes, all everything. So I'll give you, these are all on recall, people. This is very dangerous, guys. I'm not kidding. If you have any frozen vegetables right now in your freezer, I would just throw it right in the garbage, because look at all these labels. After 9 dead, and they've reissued this post again, only because everything expires at 2020. This is the list of 43 list is recall. This is crucial, people. Can you please it's just my wife. So I'm going to be on the thing with my wife here tonight. And I'm going to be chatting with my wife back and forth here tonight as we go along. So she's watching me live. I hope she's watching me live now. And we all should say a prayer for her. And anyways, this is a big deal. I'm going to go check my freezer later. I'm going to leave a link in the comments section, because there's a lot of frozen foods all over the place, guys. There's a link in the comment section here on YouTube, guys. Sorry, I'm very disorganized today. I'm very sorry about this, guys. I just got a lot going on, but I'm also here for you guys here too. You know what I'm saying? Okay, there's the link, guys. So if you got any of these companies, there's like 43 companies here. Throw it in the garbage if you have any of this stuff. All sizes, all batches, all serial numbers, all codes. Absolute disaster. Our food system, it's like going to our barber, guys. It's like going to our barber. You pay him $20. Hey, I paid you $20. Fix my hair, right? Well, it's same thing at your grocery store. I paid $20 for these vegetables. Is it going to kill me? And here it is here. 9 dead. Total recall after 9 dead. So we're going to move on to the main story here, guys. So we're being affected. The province of Ontario is being affected. And yes, it's all Donald Trump's fault. We're going to have Steve the plumber here shortly to be joining us. And we need to find out what's going on here. I'm kind of choked out on this. And I just love it how we don't blame our own prime minister for the mistakes that have been made in this country. And if I was a president or a prime minister of another country, and a prime minister of Canada was talking about me and making jokes about me and treating me like, you know what? I don't care too. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm going to try and keep this as PG as possible. So, I don't know what this crap is. This is an advertisement here. Nobody cares about this, guys. Nobody cares about this. So let this play in the background here before I get flagged. So, potential shutdown here. General Motors set to end factory operations in Ottawa. It's going to affect a lot of employees. People need to remember the General Motors company is an American company. If they come to Canada, they're doing us a favor. You know what I'm saying? People are not forgetting that. You know, I'm in Canada, okay? I'm seeing what's happening. Okay, we got everyone in the comments section. So I'm in touch with Rose. The kids are sleeping. I got Rose on Facebook here, and she's gonna go to bed soon. All the kids are sleeping, so I wanted to get this story out there because this was sent to me today. I don't know, by like 22 people. General Motors to shut down OSHAWA plant in global restructuring. So it's a global restructuring, and General Motors is shuttering its plant in Oshawa as a part of a restructuring of its global operations to focus on autonomized zero-emissions vehicles, sources say. Zero-emissions vehicle? What are they going to run off? Two sources who were briefed on General Motors' plan said the Oshawa plant will be completely closed down. Those sources said that Canada isn't the only country affected by the auto giant's move to shift its investment away from traditional vehicles. The offices of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, good old JT, and Ontario Prime Minister Doug Ford were informed of the decision late Saturday before the official announcement on Monday. A federal official later told the Globe and Mail that the government will be examining the impact of the closing and what measures it might take to help laid off auto workers. Now, here's the problem, guys. These are private sector workers. These are blue-collar private sector workers. Their taxes that they pay on their wages and their CPP, Canada pension, and unemployment insurance basically keeps the government jobs operating because they're paying for the government jobs that are being paid through their taxes. And they're keeping our streets in order, and they're keeping our police employed, you know? So this is a big problem here. So last fall, GM laid out its strategy and expanded its presence in the market for electric cars, saying it would introduce 2 new models within 18 months as a part of a wider push toward zero-emissions fleet. The company said it planned to launch 20 new electric vehicles by 2023, but did not set a date for all-electric offering. At the time, the company said it did not expect jobs to be lost in the move to electric vehicles. GM employees have been told to expect an announcement at 10 a.m. on Monday morning, but have not been given the details. Unifor said that the statement that GM has told the plant is slated to be idle in a year. Oof. And they're not talking about Billy Idol. They're talking about idle as in it's not moving. It's just sitting there. There is no product allocated to Oshawa Assembly Plant past December 2019, the union said, adding it believes the move violates previous undertaking made by GM. So this is going to be a really big left hook that no one expected that was going to come in. Everyone's always looking for the right hook. When you're boxing, you know, it's always the right hook you got to expect to come in. They're always jab and jab, and then they come in with the right. But this was one left hook that no one expected that was going to come in. And basically, this was updated 1 hour ago. We got Steve the Plumber that's going to be calling. Oh, there's garbage playing here. What is the advertising here? All this advertising here. You know what I'm saying? Let me find the article where they're blaming Donald Trump for this. Oh my God, they're full-sizing this. Gotta be kidding me. This is just playing full-time commercials. This is the Donald Trump one. Yeah, hold on. Watch.
There is a connection between U.S. President Donald Trump and Go-Go Pizza in Oshawa.
We're important to them, and they're important to us.
And this deal is important to you.
Exactly.
Like this business, like many businesses in this town, prosperity has a lot to do with what's going on in this plant. This is a huge parking lot full of the next targets for Donald Trump if the NAFTA deal did not go through. He was going to slap tariffs on all of these vehicles, the pickup trucks, the Siennas and the Silverados, as well as the Cadillacs and the Impalas.
Frankly, we're thinking about just taxing cars coming in from Canada. That's the mother load.
You're happy?
We are happy.
Relief. Relief, that's about it.
Mike has been with General Motors for 24 years, and he was worried about how many more. What would it have meant if the tariffs were implied on all these vehicles behind you? What would it have meant for you?
No work.
Rachel was also worried about the future of the plant and the family store.
The guys in the area for GM, they're all struggling on shift, off shift, so
You see a lot of them in here?
yeah.
You'd like to keep seeing them, wouldn't
Of
you?
course, yes.
Rachel has been hanging out at the family business since she was a little girl. She plans on staying and taking over one day. We'll call that optimism. And as of today, maybe renewed optimism. So it appears we didn't do so well dairy-wise, but Rachel is actually hoping for more competition when it comes to dairy, and that could mean less cost for her and her pizzas. I'm Tom Hayes, live in Oshawa. I'll send it back to you.
So they're constantly blaming Donald Trump. Why doesn't Canada pull up its socks and stop depending on other countries to make their country work? That's what I hate, is dependency, right? You know, okay, look at Cuba, for example. Nothing was imported to Cuba for like 50 years with the embargo. And they made what they, I know it's not a good example, but they made way with what they had. I've been to Cuba many times. And the country was organized. There was employment. People worked. They organized. They worked together. They became closer instead of being separated. Canada has the wood, the soft lumber, the cork. Canada has all the metals, silver, gold, palladium. Was it palladium? I can't even remember what it was. And they have all the oils, the crude, the Texas tea. Lots of resources they have that they could exploit for at least another 300, 400, 500 years. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know there's more trees in the world today than there was 100 years ago. But people they think, oh, we're killing all our... No, you're not. You know, everyone's saying to follow the money, dude. Canada, in this whole point of this OSHAWA plant closing is an eye-opener for Canadians to start taking... You know, why doesn't Canada make its own car? You know, I think we make the Saturn. I think Saturn's a Canadian-made... I'm not sure. Or is it Kia? Someone tell me in the comments what car is designed and made... No, Kia isn't that Korea or something? I don't know. What car is made in Canada? So, Mr. AA Team 604 says Honda and Toyota run Canada. Okay. Saturn is America, Kia is Korean. So who do we have? Does Canada have anything? Heck, can't we just move a Peugeot plant over here from France? Seeing that Canada likes to kiss France's butt all the time, why don't they bring a Peugeot plant over here from France into Canada? So there are no Canadian cars. So why doesn't Canada start the front line of electric cars? We got the lithium ion up north. Northeast Alberta. We got lithium ion, apparently. We got the oil we need to convert into rubbers and plastics to make the plastic cars. We create a couple of fabrication plants. Okay, we create a couple of factories to make rims, brakes, rotors, calipers, all the parts we need to make all the braking system. Then we create another plant that makes the specialty transmission with the bands in it, so it shifts properly because it's different. It's not hydraulic. It's fully electric computerized transmission with no oil. And then another plant will do the motors, the different motors and the different drive shafts and stuff like that. Then the final plant will do the assembly. You know, I don't know. I mean, why doesn't Canada's got so much resources? Instead, we ship it out and buy it back at a loss. We ship out our product, our raw materials. They make what they have to make, and then they ship it back to us and we take the loss on it. Ping through the nose. Oh, it's got to come from America. No, but that steals from Canada. Oh, this is coming from... Well, that's our oil. We gave it to them. And now we're buying it back. And that's what Canada's problem is. Since I was a child, it's like, how come Canada doesn't have a car? How come Canada doesn't make... Does Canada even make its own motorcycles? Electric car company, maybe? That we don't know? Okay, Andrea is saying we have Bombardier, the bank. Yeah, but Bombardier is being afloat, or it's being kept together by the taxpayers. The taxpayers keep bailing them out. What's the point? Okay, so that's what our problem is here. GMC plant closure. Now, it's going to cause a domino effect now. So the parts that get ordered and distributed to these plants are going to have a problem because they're going to, you know, radiators, engines, transmissions coming from different parts aren't going there anymore. And then those people are going to be affected. So if that's within Canada, they're screwed too. So and then all they could do is blame Donald Trump. You know, they gotta stop blaming Donald Trump. It's getting old. Canada's an independent, sovereign country. And the reason why I'm so hard on this, is because we have everything. We have the water, we have the oil, we have the dark crude, we have the lithium ion, we have all the equipment that exists on this planet could be made in Canada. Everything around us. I can understand, for example, if we were in Cuba. Okay, we don't have petrol. Okay, we don't have natural gas. So we're already losing because we don't have these natural resources. Oh, we don't have enough trees in Cuba. So there they go. They don't have wood, but we have the wood. We have everything. Briggs is saying central banks are 100% the problem. So guys, just an update. My wife is doing well. She's not feeling sick or anything. So she's at the hospital for observation, guys. Just an update on my wife. And I'm keeping in touch with her through Facebook. I think she's going to be going to bed soon anyways. Yeah, so save a prayer for her tonight, please. And I need to know what the heck is going on here and why Canada can't pull up its socks and start actually taking care of business. And that's the problem.
I mean, I can't imagine what the broader community is thinking or feeling. I think we're all very anxious to know the details, but at this point in the middle of the night on a Sunday, we don't even have those. So I think people are going to bed wondering what on earth they're going to hear tomorrow at the plant. I understand that they will get details tomorrow morning, but until that time, we're going on rumor, and it sounds like we're in for it. Well, no, I mean, our whole community is obviously connected to GM, but the broader province is connected. I mean, we're all feeling the potential of losses, but yeah, to imagine that. I mean, I found out from the same reports that everyone else did, you know, and I still am trying to gather those pieces. I guarantee, though, that once we put those pieces together, that you know, we're going to fight because our workers and our family, our broader community, deserves far better than rumors. And I have staunchly fought alongside our auto workers when it comes to fairness and good jobs and pensions, and that fight is not going to stop. Apparently, we're going to ramp it up.
A lot of people on Reaction were saying online tonight, I was reading that this is true, Oshawa might turn into a ghost town. Just your reaction to that.
What a horrible thought. Oshawa is so vital and vibrant. This has been, you know, a massive part of our foundation. But
you see, dependent. The entire town or city of Oshawa is dependent on that GMC plant. That's what happens when you have dependency. Once it goes, you start losing it. Guys, I don't know. Steve, call in. Why isn't any of this crap made in Canada? Why can't we? What? Steve?
Hey, buddy.
I got a question. Is the fact that an automobile, is there a patent on the automobile, or could Canada go out and just start making its own cars? Why is Canada being so dependent when it has all the resources under its feet, all the manpower, unemployment manpower that could be working? You know what I'm saying? Why isn't Canada pulling up its socks? Why didn't we start an auto industry 20, 30 years ago? Why are we so dependent on foreign companies?
Well, it's funny you say that, because that came up in conversation, believe it or not, a couple of weeks ago. And to answer your question, Canada might have the talent and the resources, but we sure as hell don't have the backing from the U.S. And that's the whole thing. We're so dependent on the U.S., it's not even funny. And I don't know about you, but I'll ask you this. If you and I were going to go into business and start making cars, would we actually make cars in Canada? Would we actually make cars in Canada underneath the Trudeau
So here's
administration?
It's the red tape and the bureaucracy.
Absolutely. Why would I do that when you and I can go down to the States and we can get all these discounts and everything else? Mind you, we'll fall flat on our face because we can't compete with the existing, automakers, so on and so forth. I mean, look at Tesla. The only reason why Tesla is because that shark has lied to all of its investors.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what it is. And everybody just gets everybody gets a slap on the wrist nowadays. You know what it is, Steve? Is no one's doing time. That's the problem. When people start screwing around with people's lives, these real estate agents, these crooked banks, people should start doing time for ruining people's lives.
Absolutely. And for all intents and purposes, I didn't have the heart to tell my buddy this when I spoke to him tonight that works at that plant, that's going to basically get his papers and he's gone, is the fact of the matter is he shouldn't be mad at General Motors. He shouldn't be mad at his union and everything else, and he should be mad at the federal government because right now the reason why General Motors has struggled, and keep in mind they have been contracting like crazy for a number of years. They've been closing things down and automating and trying to do this and trying to do that. The main reason behind all that is because we're taxed too much in Canada. We're taxed far too much. I honestly think the first $50,000 of income should not be taxed.
Yeah, that's the problem. They need to create some sort of an incentive program in Canada to bring investment into Canada. But, okay, like the government needs to create, instead of bringing in rich investors to come in and buy up our properties and leave our country homeless and buy out our kids and great-grandkids, I think the government should focus on bringing in investors from Russia, Germany, parts all over Central America, people that want to expand their existing businesses that they have in their existing countries and actually bring their ideas and their patents and expansion here to Canada.
Yeah, well, the old saying, too little, too late applies to this situation. They've done this before, just so you know, Mike. I'm not sure if you know this or not, but they've threatened to close this plant down for not once, but I think twice in more recent times. Years ago, but recently, not 20 years ago, but anyhow, and then at the last second they get a car. I don't think that's what's happening here. I think what's happening here is there just isn't a car to be built, and that plant is getting phased out. And who knows? Oshawa, that plant may actually come back in 2 to 3 years. But if, think about it this way. If it does come back and they're smart about it, they're going to basically take this time to go ahead and do what they need to do to make sure that electric cars can actually be made there, because that is the way. And I think GM finally realizes that there's no benefit to being the #1 automaker in North America.
Okay, Steve.
In actual fact, it just takes up so much more resources, money, time to do so.
Okay, Steve. Listen, let's talk solution for a bit here. What do you say?
I'm trying not to be doom and gloom, Mike.
Yeah,
really,
let's say. No.
easy.
I got an idea. Let's pick a province for an electric car company. People in the comment section can help us. What province do you think could use a nice electric car company? A big electric car assembly plant?
Which province?
Do you think that could use it the most?
Right now, it would be Calgary.
Alberta? Well, Alberta, but hold on. We'll up our... Well, no, here's the deal now. This is on the table. So let's leave Alberta alone, because Alberta will be producing the oil we need. It's going to cost us anywhere from 250 to 390 barrels to produce one car. So let's leave Alberta, because they'll be producing us the oil to make our car, right? So
Sure.
why not Winnipeg? Manitoba, there's nothing there.
Oh, that's true. That's very true. Absolutely. I mean, when you look at another major company that's set up in Winnipeg, it's basically forgive me, the chicken company there, Maple Leaf Foods.
Yes. Yes.
So at this point, I mean, I see where you're coming from, but it would cost a lot of money to get that plant up and going, and it just wouldn't be economic. It just wouldn't be feasible.
No, well, we'll make it feasible. Why? Buy a car from your brother. Remember Reaganomics? Buy a car from your brother. Keep him employed. They'll have a huge slogan across Canada, from all the way up north, all the way across the country. They'll have electric pickup trucks, electric with part gas if they need it for emergencies and stuff. But fully electric on part gas with a rechargeable motor system, or a rechargeable system that basically charges. Okay. So then we have the location, and that plant will bring in 2,500 to 3,000 people. Then we'll outsource our parts. We gotta up our raw materials. We need more metals. We're gonna get more metal companies at work. Open up all the shutdown companies, because we're going to have to start making rotors. We're going to have to start making calipers. We're going to have to start making brake pads. We're going to have to start making brake lines. We're going to have a different division for every different part that needs to be made. That's going to create parts, Steve, right across the country. BC could be the province that basically does the interior and everything and ships it out to the head plant. Ontario would be the province that does all the timing belts and all the different whatever systems, that the cords or pulleys or the transmissions. They could do the transmissions. They could part source that out too. And nothing goes to the U.S. No offense, U.S. U.S. has lots of economy, and this way, we call it the Golden Leaf or the Maple Leaf. No, the Golden Leaf. We'll call it the Golden Leaf 300 series, 4-door family car, and get it off the ground. And we get Alberta to produce, or to, get that oil we need. We get our fabrication plants to make tires. We get our fabrication plants to make body and design. We probably get a company in from Germany or France to help us start up a new company in Canada from scratch to do our own design,
It all sounds great, Mike, and I'd be on board. But the problem is, like you said before, there's way too much red tape, way too much politics, way too many unqualified individuals in certain levels of government, including sitting at the helm. That piece of shit hasn't even commented on this.
No, that's right. That's right. And
Trudeau has not even said a goddamn word.
Offer.
And I have reason to believe that he knows exactly what's going on here.
Okay, well, GM offers buyouts to 18,000 workers.
Where are you seeing this?
I got it right here. GM offers buyouts to 18,000 workers amid strong profits. Buyout offers, this is from last week. General Motors reported a healthy $3.29 billion third quarter profit. The Detroit automaker ramped up its cost-cutting efforts by offering buyouts of 18,000 white-collar workers in both the United States and Canada. So there's other sectors that are getting affected. So white-collar means office workers, right? So...
Well, there's 300 salary jobs gone above those 2,500 salary positions, just so you know, Mike.
Okay.
28 in total, 2,800 in total.
So they're looking at so this is a global restructuring. So they're getting rid of 18,000 office people, pencil pushers. That I guess I'm not sure why they would be there, but I guess I could understand if they have 200-300 of them around the world, but you don't need 18,000. And a lot of it is all HR crap. You have 300 people in HR, 400 people in HR. Like, for what?
Well, it's funny. The administrative and HR, I believe, for General Motors in Canada is in Markham, Ontario.
Okay. So
they'll be the last to go if, in fact, GM leaves. And we don't know for certain what they're going to do. They may just shut down the plant until they get another car. They may bring another car in at the 11th hour. They may shut down the plant, like I said, and tool up and get ahead of the curve for the purposes of rolling out electric cars in the next 1 to 3 years. We don't know. But you have to also remember that Ingersoll, they are both, I think they do some parts, they do some engines, and they also do some plant assembly there as well.
Yeah. So this is it's going to be a low blow. It's like I said, it's that left hook that no one expected. Everyone's always expecting the right hook when it comes to these things, but no one saw that left hook coming in, Steve. What are people going to be like? Okay, now, so what did your friend say? How does your friend feeling when you spoke to him that works at that plant?
Well, he feels, lied to. He feels, that they were, he's going to get cheated out. He's fully expecting to lose his job. And quite frankly, he doesn't know what he's going to do. He's beside himself. And there are thousands of other people that are in the same boat. And what people don't understand is, whether it's 2,500, 2,800, 3,000 jobs, whatever you want to, or more for that fact, it's a ricochet effect. It's a ripple effect. Many other people are directly tied to GM. And yes, Magna goes and, supplies parts all over the world. But you know what? If they're not shipping parts to, to GM in Canada anymore, that's a big portion of their business that's going to evaporate as well. And that's going to result in job losses. There's so many switches and relays that are made. A lot of them are made in China, but some of them are made in Oakville at Omron.
That's right. Okay, I got an article here. What's left of Canada's automotive industry? Okay, Canada's automotive industry isn't once what it was, having shrunk from producing about 3.1 vehicles at its peak in 1999, roughly 2 million a day. Wow. However, the sector continues to be important to the economy, employing about 125,000 Canadians across 8 vehicle assembly plants in Ontario at more than 700 parts manufacturers. Here's a look at what's left in the industry in Canada based on the figures of Canadian Vehicle Manufacturers Association. So, Fiat Chrysler. So, here it is. OSHAWA plant is gone. So we can move on. Yeah, 2,500 union and 300 salary jobs are gone. So Fiat Chrysler is still here. Fiat Chrysler employs about 12,000 people in Canada. Most of them work producing the Chrysler Pacifica and Grand Caravan minivans, and that's in Brampton, Ontario. And then Ford employs about 8,000 people in Canada, mainly in Oakville, Ontario, where the workers produce the Ford Edge, Ford Flex, Ford GT, Lincoln MKT, and the Lincoln MKX. And then Honda has been building vehicles in Canada since 1986, when it opened its Alliston, Ontario. As of there were 4,200 employees at its plants in Alliston. They make the Honda Civic and the Honda CR-V. Toyota Motor Manufacturing Company, Inc., located in Cambridge, Woodstock, Ontario, employs nearly 8,000 people, making the Toyota Corolla, Toyota RAV4, Lexus RX 350, and the Lexus RX 450X or H or whatever it was. So that's it right there. So the one in thing is going to close. So we're going to be cut back a bit. So that's what we have left. But this is what we used to produce right here. Canada's automotive industry isn't what it was, having shrunk production from 3.1 vehicles in a peak to roughly 2 million today. So we went from 3.1 vehicles a year to 2 million today. It's like, it's a huge cut. But, and the thing is, more and more people are driving. And that's the thing. You see more and more cars out there. So it's not like less people are driving. But Steve, let us ask that one question, Steve. Could they afford to drive now with everything being so expensive? Go ahead.
Well, that's just it. There's a number of different factors that need to be, put into the equation. And I think our economy is shrinking, and it is receding. All signs point that we are definitely entering a recession. And it's not just the auto sector. Everyone has to realize that there are a lot of unemployed real estate agents right now that are not selling anything. Nothing is moving in the 905. Anything over $1 million isn't moving. And it's going to continue to, to basically decline as interest rates continue to rise. Now, with that said, we've just been, apprised of the situation that, regrettably we're losing, thousands of jobs in Ontario. I realize the Bank of Canada looks at the big picture in terms of an overall economy, especially with our oil being in the tank. No pun intended. We have some severe issues ahead of us that we have to deal with, and I don't know where to start. And I don't even think the powers to be know where to start. For starters, we need to get that part-time drama teacher out of power because, he can barely, drink out of his sippy cup and stay within the lines of his coloring book, let alone run this country properly.
Mm-hmm.
That said, I think interest rates will continue to rise. Do I see them going to 3.5%? Maybe not. Maybe not. We might be, by the time we get into, Q2, Q3, we may be in a full-blown recession.
We're in a recession right now, brother. We just haven't hit the depression yet.
Well, that's true, and I've said it once before. The old saying is, you don't know you're in a recession till you're halfway out of it.
Okay, guys, we just got this in. This was published 1 minute ago. This just in right now. The Hill Times. This looks like it's from that city. It looks like it's from Oshawa, like directly from Oshawa right now. This is November 26th. This was just in right now, 1 minute ago. Politics this morning. Trudeau to hold meetings with former Chief Justice Scheer in Toronto. Speak with Ryerson students in O'Leary. Okay, this has to do something with General Motors. Let's see where it is. I think it's in his agenda here. Environment Canada. Oh, there's a huge agenda here to look through. Bombardier. Liberals will be all hands on deck to help Bombardier with more bailouts. I'm just trying to see where the General Motors is here. If he's got... General Motors. Okay, here we go. President of the UN General Assembly at his office. Okay, the company CEO would get an audience with Mr. Trudeau at 4:15 p.m. Their visit comes amid the news of the General Motors plans to close all its operations in Oshawa, Ontario, and reported first by CTV. It's okay. So he hasn't even commented on it right now, Steve. He hasn't even commented. I thought this... Yeah, I thought this was just in right now. It is just in right now, but unfortunately, he didn't comment. I'm sorry.
Well, at this point, tomorrow's going to be a big day. So I would imagine by 10 a.m., they'll hold their press conference and say that, you know, they don't have a car to be built. We're shutting down the plant. And typically, I guess the last 1 to 2 times that they did this, they announced that they're closing the plant. But it wasn't just within 30 days. Like, these people are giving 30 days notice. As of December 29th, that's it. That's all. This is done. They basically started to say, you know, oh, it's the 6-month mark. We're probably going to close down the plant. We don't have another car to come in. You know, they stopped making the Camaro and all this other stuff and the Impala there. And then I believe a couple of months beforehand, they were set to close. They got a car. And that kind of sort of saved it. At the end of the day, we have to be honest with ourselves. If they're planning on closing it down on the 29th, it's probably going to close.
Do you think
due
they'll...
to the fact that...
Of 29th of December, right?
The 29th of December.
Okay.
In other words, if General Motors hasn't forecasted what they were going to do within the next 30 days, if they didn't know what they were going to do within the next 30 days, 120 days ago, there's a problem. A company like General Motors forecasts well in advance than a 30-day mark. There's no, I doubt that there'll be another car, you know, made at that plant. There's just not enough time. They've said it, the 29th, that's where it is. But I could be wrong. This could be hoopla at the end of the day. General Motors trying to prevent another strike within their union, because we just went through a huge strike with Canada Post. And, you know, everybody, you know, in other words, we'll get another car, but be grateful that you have a job. Shut your goddamn mouth, and don't you go on strike, or we will close this goddamn plant down.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying, Mike?
I know what you're saying. I see where you're coming from. But I know we keep talking about Canada's heavy dependency on foreign companies when Canada, like, again, and I'm going to bring this up every couple of hours. Canada has the manpower. They got the resources. They got the minerals. They got everything they need under their feet. They got the passion. They got the youth. They got, I mean, I don't know, Steve. It just breaks my heart. Such a big country with so much. And, you know, and they keep blaming, stop blaming Donald Trump and start looking after your own economy.
That's exactly right. And it starts with being able to be competitive with the U.S. See, right now, I think the U.S. corporate tax rate is at around 20 or 21%. We're still at 26 point something. So we're not competitive. I don't care what anybody says. You know, that 5-point spread is huge, absolutely huge. You got to do the math in terms of where the dollar's at, so on and so forth, and all that fun stuff. But then again, you have to remember, how much do we pay these guys that work on the line?
Yeah.
Like, how many of them are making $100,000 plus a year?
Yeah, there's quite a few, but a lot of them do a lot of work too, Steve. A lot of them do break their backs, right? So.
Which is fine, and I'm not saying they're not worth the money.
Yeah, no.
But what I'm saying is, they don't have to be paid that amount of money if they weren't so heavily goddamn taxed from an income stat.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah, because what they take home is theirs, and what they don't take home doesn't belong to them.
If the first $50,000 was of income was not taxed on those GM workers, and let's say you paid them, you didn't pay them $100,000 or $120,000 a year, okay? You paid them $50,000, and then It's the same goddamn thing.
Yeah. Okay, Steve, Mr. A-Team 604 says, Mike, you need to run for Prime Minister of Canada. I can't, because one, I have to lie, and I don't want to lie. There's no point. You're going to get caught, regardless. So, I'm not going to lie. And then two, I'm not the type of person where, the stuff I want to implement or would like to implement into the country to make it a thriving, they won't let me do it anyway. So who cares? Even if I slash taxes, created more middle-class jobs, more private sector jobs, not government jobs, more private sector jobs, created incentives for people, companies to come from all over the world, real companies, not some bullcrap nail salons where they launder money. I'm talking real companies come in here and actually, and then we give them a very competitive corporate rate tax. We give them a very competitive payroll remittance tax. We kind of, we don't give them incentives where we're taking away from the taxpayers. We actually just give them incentives like Google's doing. We actually do it in a way where we could give them like a 100-year free lease on their land for 100 years if they stick around as long as they want. And provided they employ only Canadian employees, provided they employ, Canadians from all over the world, but they're Canadians. You know what I'm saying, Steve? They don't get part-time workers to come in and then work, these wages that are not fair, and then they start laying off all the talent. You know what I mean, right, Steve?
I understand exactly what you're saying, and it makes perfect sense. But unfortunately, Mike, you have to be a very, very wealthy person to get into politics and be successful at it. You have to have a lot of backing, and you have to sell your soul to the devil, because the only way you're going to get your endorsements, you're going to get your political funding, is if you promise to return the favor and be done with it. I'm very interested to know how Trudeau got in, and I think it's all going to come to fruition. All the favors he had to pay back, and how many goddamn reach arounds he had to give to all his buddies. It's going to be interesting.
Here we go. Don't cry from Bombardier. Why Bombardier stock should be avoided at all costs. Risk ahead. Yo, why do we keep bailing out these grandfathered companies and not usher in a new century? We're in a new century, Steve. We're almost 20 years into this new century, and we still haven't turned the century yet. Do you remember? I don't know if you read the history books of the turn of the century of the from the 1915, there was a huge turn of the century. Automobiles were everywhere. Horses disappeared. Well, they didn't disappear. They stopped using horses. It was a huge turn of the century. The typewriter was everywhere. Kids on the sides of the street selling newspapers. Get your local paper or read all about it. You know what I'm saying? That was the turn of the century. It was the steel wheels. It was progress. It was movement ahead. It was visual colors. It was beautiful. But then, Steve, we don't have a turn of the century here. We don't have no turn in our century. It's still 1960s.
Yeah, we're stagnant, and I think it's going to be interesting to see all the economists and everybody chime in on how much of a blow this is going to be, not just to OSHAWA, but to Ontario as a whole. It's going to be a sight for sore eyes. So everybody will have, it'll be all eyes tomorrow to figure out where things are going with respect to, to get back on topic here with respect to GM closing in Oshawa, and we're going to see how many people are truly affected and how many other businesses are going to be affected. It's going to be a number of different things. I know companies that were ready to go, plumbers, electricians, HVAC people, for some expansions that were planned there. And I'm pretty sure it's fair to say that they were supposed to start in the new year, and they're no longer going to be having that work.
So you saw what's happening here. So people, to avoid a lot of these stocks, especially like Bombardier and what they're saying here. You know, somebody in the comment section that they're a shareholder, shareholder in Bombardier. We're not trashing anything. We want to fix everything, and this is a problem. Don't cry from Bombardier.
You know what? At the end of the day, whoever said that in the comment section, that's fine. You want to go ahead and be a shareholder of Bombardier, and you think it's a safe bet just because Trudeau and all his buddies control Bombardier. Well, you know what? At the end of the day, I would not own any stock that guy has his hands in, whether he's bailing them out or not.
I would rather buy Briex.
Yeah, this is what kills me. He can't run the country, but yet you're going to go and you're going to go and buy stocks in a company that he keeps on bailing out.
Yeah,
like,
that's...
How many times do you have to look at an idiot before you figure out that you actually are an idiot for investing in it?
Yeah, Steve, I don't know what's going on. I wish I could tell you what's going on. You know, a lot of these cities... Oh, I want to throw this up there real quick. Urgent national frozen veg recall after 9 dead. Guys, this is an older article, but it doesn't matter. It's resurfacing again because more people are dying. So I'll leave a link in the comments for this, guys. It is 43 products of frozen vegetables set to expire in 2020, guys. All pack sizes. I'll go ahead and paste this here for you guys. Guys, please check this out. It's important. A lot of this is in North America, United States, and in Canada and parts of Australia. It's a company outbreak. It's an outbreak. And it's people are still dying because they have this in their freezers. It expires in 2020, so they don't have to worry because it's not expired and they can still have it for Christmas this year. And you know, we don't want people dying over frozen vegetables, right?
No, we definitely don't.
Yeah.
That's great information to have there. So, Mike, I have a question for you. Do you see GM leaving Canada?
Yeah, we need to re-ask that question better. Does GM need Canada?
Well, at this point, it's an oxymoron. Does GM need Canada? Well, at this point, Trudeau hasn't commented on anything because I think he knows what's coming down the pipe. And at the same point in time, the deal he made with respect to NAFTA and whatnot, I think that's all going to unfold. So to answer your question, does GM need Canada? Well, I think we need to ask the other question, does Canada need GM? And right now,
they
all
do.
Signs point that we may need it, but I don't think we give a shit.
So what do we replace? Like, what happens to OSHAWA? Does it become the next Detroit, or like what happens? Well, Detroit's Detroit's getting better now. They've started pumping life into its economy and resuscitating it. But what's going to happen to a city like Oshawa, you know, where it's cold 8 months of the year?
Well, I mean, people on social media are already calling for Oshawa to be a ghost town, so on and so forth. If GM does in fact close, Oshawa is not going to be very desirable. There are certain parts of Oshawa that are nice. The south end of Oshawa is not very good. But at the same point in time, if that plant does close and it remains closed for an extended period of time, in other words, there are no immediate plans for it for the next, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it may be, you will see that economy ultimately flop, in my opinion. Right? You got to remember how many people live in Oshawa, and then how many people commute from Pickering or Ajax or Whitby. These people are all going to be without a job, and these people can no longer pay their bills. This is going to be a huge, huge blow to many, many, many
Well, you see what happens in McDonald's. They're starting to install those little kiosks now that you go into the McDonald's. It's a little like computer kiosk, and you go ahead and punch in your order, and there's nobody working at the counter, and then they just bring it out for you. So ever since they raised minimum wage, and a lot of employers said we just can't afford to, because a lot of people don't understand when they increase minimum wage to kind of help the workers. The problem is when you increase minimum wage, the company needs to pay more CPP, more IUI, because the company pays a percentage of it, and that goes up. So it's not just increasing the wage; it's the taxes that are behind through payroll.
Yeah, that was a complete political move by the Liberal government. In actual fact, minimum wage going up to 14, and then they wanted to bring it to 15, and thank God Ford kiboshed that. But, you make more money, all of a sudden you're in a different tax bracket. People are actually earning less. I would have rather them see, them keep wages where they are and lower the tax bracket.
Well, they could raise wages and lower the tax bracket. Problem solved.
Well, Ford's now saying the first $30,000 for low-income earners is basically there's no provincial income tax, and the first basically a household with $60,000 or less is paying no provincial income tax. You're going to have to pay federal, but it's a step in the right direction. See, he gets it. He understands it. He's worked in his father's business. His father has been passed away for many, many, many years now, and he's actually had to build that business and keep it afloat. Okay? And he knows what's going on. Whether he was running his father's business, running another business, or you know what? Selling drugs as a drug dealer. It's a business. He knows how to take care of people. Whether it has a negative connotation attached to it or not. What the heck does Trudeau know about business?
No, I don't think he knows anything. I don't think. I mean, he knows the generalization of it, and I think he understands some of the economic downturns and swings and pitfalls and losses and collaterals. I think he gets some of that stuff, but I don't think he understands more of it on a global scale.
Well, that's the whole thing. You have to remember, he is very much so a trust fund baby, or how I like to say, lucky sperm. And he knows how to go to the bank, and he gets his allowance, so on and so forth. And the guy is merely only qualified to teach drama. That's it. That is his qualifications.
Oh, yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. Anyways, guys, we're coming up to our hour here. So, yeah. So, Steve, that's that. I just wanted to kind of go through that with you and kind of bring some things to the table. We're approaching our 1 hour. I got to go check on my kids. Guys, don't forget to say a prayer for my wife tonight, please. She's in the hospital, and we are... I got my finger on the pulse with her right now, so,
Absolutely, Mike. I wish her a speedy recovery. It was so good to be with you this evening. We'll talk very, very, very soon. Going to be some interesting developments. I guess within the next, few hours anyhow. We'll start to hear more coming down the pipe, and we'll talk about it real soon. You take care of yourself. Have a good night, and again, send my regards to your wife.
Thank you so much. Have a good night. God bless you.
Take care. Bye for now, Mike.
Bye. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. Yeah, thanks so much, guys, for joining us. And I'm going to go check on my kids and make sure they're tucked in properly. And thank you for everything and and thanks for the tips, guys. The tips do help. I really want to one day buy a better computer. This one's not, it's 8 years old. So any tips you send me just goes and stays in that account until I have enough to buy a nicer computer. So I don't have to deal with such a slow computer, and uploading and rendering videos takes forever. So thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. Big hug, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and get this video out there. Start sharing my stuff, guys. Get me out there, okay? Good night.